DK, but when you say that sort of timing is going to be hit by Empire and their heroes, and they're coming in with the push, if Live to Win do try and just trade across the map, that you don't think they're going to be able to trade as efficiently as Empire will?
They could struggle. It all just depends on how they do it, their movements, as laning is also really important. They're both trying to get their matchups, right? Tidehunter doesn't want to lane versus Jug. Lycan doesn't want to lane versus Tide. So right now we're just looking at these lane shenanigans, and you see the wards placed by both teams. Actually loving this, you know, both teams clearly understanding what they need to do with these deep wards, scout these lanes out and get these matchups, because they're everything for this game. Look at Afterlife, saving his TP, running across the map. Ember, same thing. They're all just trying to get these matchups so that it's appropriate. And now we're going to have some weird, you know, 5 position SoNNeikO with some level 2 at the mark and some farm because of the lane swapping.
All these cores in between lanes.
Yeah.
I see who's going to be sort of the last to actually get in on the XP. Pretty close on the this top lane.
Jug. Smiling Knight, right? They're both, look at Afterlife and Smiling Knight across the map.
I mean, then once this happens, do you pop the TP then?
The thing is, they both have the TP. They're gonna but everyone in this game actually saved their TPs and lane swaps. So now you're just like, huh. Okay, what do we do here? Because Afterlife, at least he's in his safe lane versus a Jug, which is a little better, but he is into the Jug, which he doesn't want to. And we're seeing some type of swaps coming around here. Seeing how they do want to actually close these lanes. I love when I see this. It's so important when it's a game like this to get the good matchups. And now we're seeing EcNart, the Elder Titan support. 5 last hits, 4 denies.
Yeah, nearly level 3. No, he's gonna have a great start. So yeah, we'll see sort of what impact that has. Having these supports, having the head start, and the core's gonna have to do a few waves of catching up on XP.
Yeah, I think you're not super happy on Live to Win, but at least, like I was talking about, it's the Tide in the safe lane versus the Jug. So you're at least closer to your tower. You can actually support. And they're going to put a lot of pressure onto bottom now because of this. Tide's in a safer spot. It's a tri-lane versus Petu as well as for sayuw. And they're versus a Nature's Prophet. It's not easy. Too much fun.
Yeah, and as you said, even though it is tough for the Tide at the top, you still want him to get solo XP, right? You don't feel that you can achieve anything from having a second hero by his side up there?
No, SoNNeikO can make moves around, though, freely, right? He's a Nature's Prophet, so wherever he's needed, he'll just TP if it's the opportunity.
We will see, of course, yeah, this free farm from the Jug is definitely going to come into play. Mid lane, gwynbleidd against FM. Seeing gwynbleidd definitely having the favourable time here so far. 18 for 5 against the 11 and 0.
A nice matchup versus the DK. One of the few that actually can dominate him because of your nuke damage.
Yeah. You don't care about the brief fire, damage reduction.
Now you're
actually going to be able to punch through him.
Spared you future.
You don't care about his armor.
DK still always just farms, but
sure,
definitely slowed down a little bit. And it's definitely harder for the DK to push out the lane and to secure a rune versus the Storm too. The Storm just pushes it out harder. And we'll see those rotations definitely come out in the next 6 seconds. The supports this top Afterlife. Level 1 spin though.
No, not enough damage to completely threaten. How's he doing for regen as well in this? Come with, he's got a couple of tangos left. See EcNart really forced him back with those punches. I mean, those levels.
Yeah, Boots, Windlace, level 3.
Yeah.
At the level 2 Spirit, so he's higher level than his Jug, and that's actually really nice for zoning. See this rune check? Even a wolf checking, Immersion versus sayuw.
He gets their hands on it. It's going to be top.
Oh, it's a DD top.
Oh, straight in the bottle.
Has been killed.
And he's got a level of Vortex, too, so now play aggressively versus FN2. I like this. I always love when I see, I think every game, for me, unless you're against a ranged hero.
Top lane. Wait, they should have it this time. They've got the level 3, so no trouble taking him out. And this is obviously what they were trying to avoid with those switch arounds early on. His Tide is... He's going to suffer unless he's somehow able to get that creep wave in a better position top.
Oh, bottom.
He's going to be in a rough place. They will manage to get sayuw. I mean, I do feel like, this tri-lane...
They got to swap.
Unless they really want to sack this Tide's game completely, they're going to get Afterlife straight back down bottom.
he just wasn't. He's literally getting like nothing up there. He wasn't even getting much XP. Same thing for Petu, but Petu has wolves, so he can at least like snipe a last hitter, deny in between, while Tidehunter can't do anything. So now lanes have been established. They're gonna switch it up. The Ember can die up top though. He does have to be a little cautious with his positioning.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. He's gonna have his remnants. He's definitely a little vulnerable.
So they're gonna have to rotate the Nyx. So Nyx will be able to protect versus the ET. And then they should be able to keep these lanes consistent, but yeah, nice wait for Empire.
Rotation.
Here as rotation.
Wins it, and he's got the catch easily on stream. And this is...
And that was fresh TP, right? So 40 seconds, he's gonna respawn, he has 20 seconds to run out to the map.
That definitely hurts. No doubt about it. We'll see Gwyn come back in on the mid, FN. He's gonna pop the ult, start to get some damage done to the tier 1 tower. SoNNeikO also gonna be around for some extra pressure, but EcNart's in. He's ready to hold the defense. He's underneath the tower here. It's going to take a few hits. FN, he's got the pretty full wand, and that will be enough to keep him alive. But still, a solid job from Empire here to push back FN during his first Elder Dragon form, limiting the amount of damage being done to their tower.
Yep, I'll always swing a support in whenever the DK... A support or a core, actually.
Yeah.
I've seen that a lot from a bunch of the teams now. DK form gets popped. Seen a couple Pango games where the Pango rotates and just kills him immediately. So I like this, bringing both supports. Only 670 damage, 680 damage to the... As Smiling Knight, they swap the lanes again. Tide goes bottom, Jug matches him. Jug always has kill threat on the Tide in lane, and the Lycan, he's the sack. You know, he's been fully counted in the draft, so he always goes to the hardest lane possible for himself. Top. It's fine.
There's going to be quite a bit of right-click builds up here by EcNart. Yeah, straight away Immersion. Mess with the punches of this Elder Titan. I say that still takes a few hits. I mean, half his HP there.
And they're rotating.
Oh, again. I mean, they're really crushing this Ember. If they get this Ember again, and they've got the stun, will buy him a bit of station, but Gwyn's still got plenty of mana to play with. He's diving in. One more hit will do it. He's got it straight in over towards Dream. He may just get Immersion as well. There's Immersion. He's got stun in a second. Is he able to do something special here? He's trying with the jukes. And I think he's going to do it. He's going to live. Oh. Still sticking a little bit around. But yeah, they've got nothing else to throw onto him underneath the tower. Still though, Empire, they got what they wanted. That Ember kill, they really slowing down this Ember's game. Has left mid open, and FN and SoNNeikO, they don't miss out on this opportunity. Immediately pressuring in and getting a very good time on that mid tier 1.
Oh, and top Petu, he actually stuck around when all of his teammates ditched. He just died here.
He looks pretty dead. Oh, stomp though. Oh, we got the two of them, EcNart. He's going to be able to get definitely the Nyx's House of Dream.
Oh, he's blocking him.
Is he going to get December? Well, chains don't catch onto the Elder Titan though, so EcNart can keep diving.
Oh, the tree plant blocks his path.
He is away. He's very low. Is he going to have a spirit in a second? Oh, nice flight. But it didn't matter. The wolves will do it. I mean, this poor old Ember is what 3 times in a row he's been up on this lane Dream, and they've been able to successfully kill him.
And Immersion took his kill too, I believe. Yeah, the last hit there, so he didn't even get a kill to himself. They do at least punch back bottom. I'm surprised they actually get this kill. I'm very surprised, to be honest with you. They killed the Jug, Tide in the DK without a Ravage.
Wait, what?
Just caught him on the side or something.
That's
a little weird.
Yeah, that shouldn't happen.
Yeah, and now FN, because I think he sees that his Ember is having trouble, and I feel like he's feeling the pressure that he has to actually deal damage in this game because of that, and he should transition as well since they have a Tricore on this side of Empire. It's going armor. I quite like it. I feel like he has to be able to scale in this game, otherwise they will get outscaled by this Tricore pushing lineup quite significantly.
Looking towards Immersion again. 2 of them can do this. It's kind of tricky.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Thank God they moved Cripple to level 4. Because those would have probably been some easier kills.
It's very close to having those level 4 walls, and the first Necro book has now been done for Petu, so
And now we'll see what the decision is. I don't think they can defend this tower at all. They have to be pre-set up, as we mentioned earlier, for the side of live to win to defend these towers. Tidehunter in no realms of being able to set up there, so top tower is dead. They might even try to kill him first. Should be.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
So instead, they just push bottom, match that because they couldn't send a Tidehunter up top because he had no mana or anything like that. Next tower though, tier 1, they're gonna have to defend it. Afterlife, he's gonna have, he has the Soul Ring, he has Baited Growth, he should have mana.
Dream just closed at win, showing that he wasn't quite 6. He only just hit 6, but it was too late. You know, he wasn't 6 before, couldn't have a remnant prepared. And he pokes at Gwyn as the DD's picked up. Maybe he was trying to go for the slight and DD steal, but he couldn't do it. This game continues to look very rough for the Ember.
It really is, and they're just starting to snowball here for the Storm Spirit. He's going to have such a fast Orchid this game, and that's going to counter majority of the heroes on this live-to-win lineup. Sure, they have the Kraken and the DK, which can sustain, but everyone else is very vulnerable. They'll hold the push, though, at the very least with the DK and the Tidehunter rotating in, and they might have
That's it. He's going to try and get out with the ult. Oh, he's away. No, he's not. Slight fish for Dream. Take him out there. Good job that Dream does indeed have that slight max this game.
Okay, okay. So they did exactly what they need to do on live to win. Secure this, back up, get themselves some catch-up farm. And now you just have to play a little bit more of a defensive game on live to win. Let them make the moves. Nyx can go hunt around and give information, and you guys can catch back up. In particular, just watch when the Storm gets Orchid. You should be pretty certain that he's close to it because of how dominant his early in game's been. So just live to win, have to play a little bit passively, not too far up. FN is kind of deeper enough.
They've got to be very smart who sort of shows on lanes. Huge amount of kill potential now from Gwyn. Especially Dream. Dream's got to be so cautious how he pushes out and make sure that he's quick on the buttons to jump to that remnant before Storm's able to come out of the ball lightning and silence him. But
it's got to happen now. 11 minutes, 50 seconds, Gwyn has it finished. And they already see the Ember top with this ward. So he might just TP and set up for him almost immediately.
It's going to be tempting.
Immersion reads it.
Yeah, he wins straight over.
I want to counter gank it. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be able to read this at all. They do not have much information.
No, not especially coming from a smoke as well from Gwyn. This is
moving over though. FN is also in the area. Let's see if they can though.
I mean, they're going to be able to burst him. As Gwyn, he's got the damage. It's Dream down again.
Oh, he's a little low mana though. Can they catch on the retreat? Nope.
Yeah, they've got extra backup coming in as well. If live to win do try and fight, this Empire's going to be ready to return the aggression as they'll look towards Immersion. They'll take him out. FN's got to run.
sayuw, he was trying so hard to get the Hex. Can't quite catch up to him. But that's FN. That's a DK form. It's an arcane rune at the very least, but DK form just kind of wasted. They didn't get anything out of it. And this Jug just continues to get all the space in the world. Smiling Knight, farming.
Such a difference between what he's going to be able to get done this game compared to Dream. I mean, you know, Dream 251, not an easy era to play from behind. Petu, get the ult off. They've got the control. Good move here for Live to win. As they've been able to do this a few times now, sort of finding Petu alone and having no trouble taking him down.
Yeah, they fully countered this Lycan with the draft for the most part with their picks, and they look like they're going to actually try to pressure this here. DK forms up in 10 seconds. There's an ET to defend, though. They have to be a little careful how they go for these push plays.
Radiant structures are fortified.
But with their Tide also, they're feeling a bit confident. And they're getting Dream caught up in farm, too. He just goes to the opposite side of the map. But yeah, here's the ET. Can he actually slow it down?
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It's hard to get in here whilst Afterlife has the Ravage.
Radiant's top
Immersion
tower
scout out EcNart. As they're going to look to just run him down, take him out. SoNNeikO's TPing over, but actually think twice about it. EcNart
is under attack.
is able to move away far enough for Live to win not to be tempted to continue chasing.
Always really nice for the supports when you see, this is early of course, but when Petu popped the Lycan ult top, now you don't have to worry about Lycan ult for such a long time every time that does happen. This ward top though, SoNNeikO.
Gwyn coming in with a very large bull line in there. A mile off, and oh no!
Oh.
I mean, they may get EcNart, but he wasn't the target. He was not the one that they were hoping to catch there with that Ravage. As Afterlife will he even get EcNart? He might not. He's not going to even get him. EcNart's able to make it away. That's one of those ravages that hurts.
Immediately when that ravage happens, I feel like you want to just, like, you can reset. Immersion, they might be able to find this catch here, but they can reset and push a tower now. There's no ravage. The threat of the ravage is the biggest thing that's making them be more hesitant to actually just force these towers down. They're going to go straight mid. Shaman wards are up. I'd be surprised if they don't just commit for it here.
Stupendous!
Well, they're actually going to give respect to the
Radiant's
Ember there.
bottom tower is under
So,
attack.
okay, Empire. Back up, you have to refarm, and I feel like to win, even though they use this ravage, maybe they don't get punished for it. They do have a lot of time to take advantage of it, though. 100 seconds.
Oh, we're going to see this ravage again in glorious slow-mo.
Oh, no. Don't do it to the man.
Now, I mean, you can see it was tempting, sure. Gwyn's low on mana. You feel that maybe you're going to be able to trip him up, or at least, you know, have the reach to get him after he zips. That wasn't the case. Grim, straight out.
They're evading the blink dagger on Ember.
Into the ult, the Shaman, the wards as well. It's perfectly trapped FN. He's in the middle of it all, and Gwyn's going to be able to come and offload the extra damage on the stash as well from Smiling Knight, taking down FN, and now with the Blade Fury, they'll look to chase down Afterlife, and they're going to be able to get him. Double kill for Gwyn.
You had your warning.
Empire doing an excellent job in these fights as Gwyn's game just getting better and better. 6-0-3 for him. And this Jugs farm, Smiling Knight, it just continues as their cores are looking to be in a very good place right now.
And I cannot believe Live to Win jumped in that location there. No ravage up, and they just jump outside of their tower area. All they want to do really is just defend these towers when they do have this ravage. And they just make an insane jump forward and put themselves in a really tough place to fight. They can't fight without ravage. They can't defend these towers without it. 20 seconds. Empire take advantage of the fact that it was whiffed.
Yep.
Get a ton on the map.
Yeah, they've got to be so careful with those ravages, as you say. As each time Empire
is positioning after.
Yeah.
Like, if they're gonna use if the ravage gets whiffed, you have to just make the decision of just like slow poking at that tower. You can't commit for a kill if you think there's any way that you get turned up.
The line's been drawn down bottom. And they're coming over to this half of the map, but still Dream in this vulnerable position where he hasn't quite got the Yules complete. They've got to be very careful on the Ember. They want to go for sayuw. They should be able to find it underneath the tower. And they're going to get away with that. Empire not set up to do anything in return.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah. SoNNeikO been down here for the majority of the game, pretty close to his Crimson Guard actually. He has it done, so he'll have a good counter at least to be able to block out some of the damage from the summons. And also blocks a decent amount of damage overall in the fights versus Ami Slash and everything, pretty decent. So that'll help them actually in the fight. And with Ravage, they're still pretty threatening. We're seeing Empire set up now. EcNart quite low on mana though. Only has 140 to work with.
Oh, Win. He's paying out some responses here. He goes straight in onto Dream. The Earthsplit is going to be totally whiffed there off to the side. sayuw dies underneath the tower. Petty trying to come in on the Dream. Dream's going for the TP out. He's away. He's able to make it out of there. See if the rest of Live to Win can also get themselves back to safety. Smiling Light chasing down. He has an Omni Slash ready to go, and here he pops it. Straight over, but they're able to split the damage rather nicely. Ravage comes out onto the three of them. They're trying to turn, and then with the armor toggle, keeping himself alive as Gwyn goes down. See if they can get more of this Live to Win. FN, he's standing his ground against Smiling Knight. He fights him back with the Dragon Tail stun. FN's going to be fine. Live to Win, they can look to turn and try and chase down these cores. Impale off the mark. The Smiling Light is off to the side, but the change from Dream catches the two of them. It's a double kill for Dream. They're going to be able to find Petu as well as Live to Win. Able to turn that fight round beautifully around this time. An excellent Ravage from Afterlife.
This time they get the setup, and this time it's Empire doing a crazy zip forward. The Elder Titan had 0 mana EcNart. It was
a wild start.
Whiff. That was the only spell he really had inside the fight till later on when he regened a bit. sayuw, he died, TP back in, gets stunned, died, gets 0 spells off. So they kind of are just missing their 2 supports in the fight and chasing very far forward into a Ravage. FN with some clutch little plays there with his armlet toggles, and SoNNeikO with the TP in and Crimson guarding his whole team during the Omni Slash. So great fight and great reset of positioning from... It's just a weird fight from Empire. sayuw, I feel bad for sayuw. Literally just dies back to back without casting a spell.
It's going to slow down his Ether Lens quite a bit. I just said it. He's still going to got it. He would have had it otherwise.
Dyers are scanning.
Big win there, though, for Live to Win. That was right after they got a couple item timings. Now they're going to get the next ones finished up. Yule's on Ember. DK approaching that... BKB, sorry.
Blink on Afterlife. They've got a lot to enable themselves next time round. 50 seconds to the Ravage, and that's sort of 50 seconds. Well, we'll see if Empire are going to be able to get anything done. Right now, they themselves more focused on trying to get their big items done on their cores. Make sure Smiling Knight has his Manta finished for the next fight.
They got to just farm and catch up right now. But the scariest thing about this is when it's Live to Win to get that fight location too with the Ravage, right? Ravage is down for all this time, but there's no way that Empire can take advantage of it. They have to push their lanes all the way back out to try to look for anything here. So by the time they get to the next fight, Ravage is up, DK ult is up, Live to Win will be prepared for it. So they have to get their next item, win. They'll have the BKB, hopefully for them for the next fight, but it's going to be much tougher as they're hunting.
They found the jump, Ravage as well. Afterlife catches the three of them into the Impale. It happened so quickly, but it couldn't have been done any better there. I mean, they were not ready for that at all.
No. And now they have the SoNNeikO Greater Treants as well, too. That was beautiful. The blink reveal instantly as soon as Ravage comes up, almost the moment that it came up. They get the opportunity. Game looking hard now for Empire with these last few situations, and with the frequency of the fights, it's always going to be determined by Ravage.
A bit of sloppiness there from Empire, getting heavily punished.
Yep.
For the next play is going to be from Empire, as this game only going to get harder here with that Aegis. And again, I mean, even with the Aegis there, they're still going to have that window where the Ravage is down for 80 seconds. But they'll want to do something about that.
They have to, I feel like, because I feel like any moment that this gets every moment gets much worse.
Oh, hang on.
Dream actually just jumps right in. Okay.
Oh, he just ended up in the middle of them. I mean, he's got the Aegis, so maybe part of the plan. That is if he can get out, and he can. Remnant's out, he's away. I mean, hey, I guess, you know, puts a stop to the smoke movement, and you lost your Aegis.
It gives you time to get your Ravage back, right? After, like, keep farming up. There's so much damage block that I did love the way that the panel was talking about it with the armor from DK and the armor from the Tidehunter. There's so much physical use, and the Crimson Guard too from the Nature's Prophet, and then the Anchor Smash and Breathe Fire. I feel like Emperor might be running into some damage issues. They have a lot of things that they do need to tick off these next few moments. BKBs are at the ready, at least on FN. SoNNeikO with the split push, you know, that shard, as we love so much, it's gonna start really pushing down those towers. He's already been pressuring the side lanes a lot this game. Oh, he'll even get a courier. Look at that. 1, 2 hits. They're swinging over for him. And it's gonna come out the Gwyn.
They've got the backup. They're straight in with the Dragon Tail stun on to Gwyn. Gwyn's gone. A perfect bait from SoNNeikO. Whereas Empire, you know, they were sort of around, but they weren't quite close enough. Live to Win were much closer, and they get in and they're ready to start poking at the high ground. Gwyn's dead for third, and he's just going in even deeper. FN, he jumps over, he's got the catch onto EcNart. EcNart's dying inside the base. Live to Win playing with some fast plays here that's just really catching Empire split up and off guard.
And now that, what can they do versus the Siege? These Juggernauts in the front line, if you try to get any type of fight, you're just gonna get Blink Ravaged, Blink followed up. They may have to just stack this. 9 seconds still for the Storm Spirit, ET for 15. This rack's dead.
23-minute racks here. Very good timing for Live to Win.
Radiant's top tower.
Ooh, that hurts.
Dire's middle tower is under
Now they go get to pick up another round of items. Everyone gets to finish up what they were queuing up earlier. And the damage issues are gonna get worse and worse. And Ravage is still up during all this now too. Sure, there's no DK form, but it's not gonna take that long. Let's see if Empire can try to hit it all back.
Yeah.
It's really just snowballed out of control here in these last few moments.
And I don't know if you mentioned it, but do you like this from Afterlife? I feel like he's just having a good time right now.
Yeah, I saw him cube Satanic, right?
Yeah. Blink Satanic. Let's go. I mean, I guess what you pop the active, you press Anchor Smash, you're guaranteed 100% of your HP healed, basically, right?
Sure.
Like, yeah, but
I feel like he could have. I feel like he could have gotten.
it's like a
better
pseudo
at it.
cheese, you know.
Matter.
He's gonna have a cheese every fight, basically, with the.
Yeah. I don't see why he wouldn't just build for a Blast or something for his team if he has the mask. Though.
That's true. He's like, hey, screw you guys.
What's the point, right? He has a DK. It'll at least give them damage, even for the Ember. Whatever. He's having fun.
Yeah, I think that with the way the last few moves have gone, I think Live to Win are kind of feeling that. I don't know, it's just that they're maybe a little more awake than Empire this morning here. Well, I don't know, it's not this morning. But, you know, first game of the day, as those sort of last moves from Empire being as split up as they were, just completely collapsed on by Live to Win. So
yeah.
they're going to be really riding the momentum hit.
Hey, they're all just getting the items to counter all this physical damage that Empire does have, right? Even the AC is queued up now for the DK. Natural build-ups, but all these things work so well against this draft. Solar Crest on your 5 position.
FN's in, he's trying to find something. And he's found sayuw. We'll get the Hex down time. Afterlife stepping up. sayuw will fall. They're able to get away. They get the sleep down onto the two of them, but it's now at a point where it's just very hard for Empire to really commit onto Live to Win's heroes. They're 8k ahead, and you can definitely feel that when you look at how tanky they are.
They just don't have the damage. Everyone is so tanky, except for Dream. He's probably the one that can't get
And over to the side, they found Petushara. FN breaks in, they're able to take him out. Gwyn committing with a BKB, trying to at least find Immersion. We'll get the next step for the Dragon Tail stone onto the Juggernaut. Oh, Ravage! Smiling like he gets the Blade Fury off just in time. But he's got to run. They're going to look to chase him out. He'll pop the Omni Slash, it will get shared between them. And that means that nobody will fall to it. Another jump from FN. He's hit with the Dragon Tail stone onto Smiling Knight. Smiling Knight goes down. Gwyn trying to finish off SoNNeikO. They have got the grab onto FN. Gwyn is out of mana. See if they've got enough damage to fight this as Gwyn. He's not got anything left in the tank. They get back in on him. They can. Afterlife. He just blinks back in. FN jumps over to sayuw. As they're all down at the moment on Empire. Live to Win. Just continue to kind of style on them with the advantage that they had. This time, there's a few casualties on the Live to Win side of things, but definitely not to the point where they're going to be concerned about how this game's going to move forward.
No, definitely not. They have now picking up those further items. They got what they came for anyway, right? The Rax was taken out, even though they did give up a couple lives. Afterlife's got his beautiful Satanic third lifesteal and damage. Sure, why not? I mean, it is a lot of damage.
50, yeah.
So
What, plus 80 damage on a strength hero.
It's a lot of damage. Yeah. It is for sure. Cool, whatever. I mean, I'm interested to see if they have the AC on FN now too. And it was a decent fight for Empire, but with what they're up against at this disadvantage, you could really see those damage issues coming out there. Even when they have everything committed with an ET splitter catching in the middle of it all too. Still just missing a bit because of the items. They'll Live to Win have built up enough to win. Ravage still on cooldown, but they're definitely feeling their strength, feeling that momentum. They're just gonna
At this point,
FN's humongous.
Exactly. If FN gets in with a stun. Oh no.
They don't even.
Goodbye, Gwyn.
Jesus. Yeah,
And
this DK is now.
Let's straight over to mid as well. Dream. He's got the setup with the Yules. They're looking for EcNart. A Hex will come out to hold back Afterlife, but this tier 3 tower is going to start taking a beating.
Look at this dragon.
Radiant's middle tower.
Tearing through these buildings. They're really struggling to deal with this. They're trying to slow them down with the sleep. They've got nothing. As FN, he's just straight in over to EcNart. EcNart down. His mid-rack's getting torn apart. And now straight to the bottom. There's no reason for Live to Win to back up. In fact, they're just going to keep on killing. Over to Petu. They get the Lycan, and they're going to call it. They know there's no coming back from it. GG is called. Celebratory Ravage there. Popped by Afterlife. Live to Win will take this game on. I mean, it's really too built. This game just fell apart so quickly and so dramatically for Empire after what seemed like a pretty good start for Empire at the beginning of this game.
Just